What's going on, guys? It is your magnificent leader, KJ, and also my co host, the man with a billion talents, Los, here for JHouze Radio, episode 32.
Aloha, aloha, people.
Uh,
Episode 32, man. I can't believe we've actually made it
I
like
know.
this far.
Seriously,
And
man. It's a long journey.
and well, my thing is not only we've made it this far, we're still having a lot of fun with this.
I think it's also to the simple fact that like we're experimenting with different like just different things with the podcast, not just our traditional podcast every week. We're trying different
Yeah.
things like top 10 action films. Today we're doing top 10 rom-coms between me and Los, that that men actually enjoy. I mean, women too, but stuff that us guys like to watch. Los and I do not know each other's list. Maybe one or two, but other than that, we don't know each other's list. So we're gonna be
Yeah.
in.
And there's one or two that I purposely did not put on the list because I thought KJ might have it on his.
Sure, indeed. And like the way that we're ordering it is not really in any particular order. Like the first one we put down is not like number five, and then the last one is not number one. It's just our general films that we actually like. So,
Well, for me, my last one is definitely going to be my number one.
oh really?
Yeah, because
Interesting.
I just think that this movie really, really is like the perfect blend of like girl and guy, rom-com, and very truthful.
Nice, nice. Well, in that case, I'm curious. What is before we actually get started? What is like for you? What is your typical thing about a rom com that actually makes it a good rom com for you? Like, what is your one or two things that you like about them?
One, that the man isn't treated stupidly. Like a lot of rom-coms treat men as being stupid, you know. Now we're not talking about that one mandatory dumb guy or jock or over testosterone guy. Like you need a foil in it, you know. I'm talking about just treat all men as like, oh my god, all men are stupid. Like we're not. That's like us making a romantic comedy where all women are stupid. It's just not the way it is.
Exactly. Exactly.
Um, can every individual can be dumb at something, okay? But don't pigeonhole us as just being dumb.
Yeah, we're more than jocks, guys. I promise
Yeah,
you. Us men are more than jocks in films. So,
yeah. Some of us are artists.
um, I mean, there's a lot of things that can make a good rom com, but for me, it has to be like the jokes have to feel genuine. I feel like a lot of rom coms, a lot
Yeah.
of jokes feel very forced. Like I recently watched what is it, Bridesmaids, I think. And
Oh God, why would you torture yourself like that?
I kept hearing, oh, it's a great movie, it's hilarious, it's hilarious. I've heard it for so many years that it was so hilarious, and I was like, all right, let me check it out, let me see what it's about, and a lot of the jokes felt very cringy. They felt very like forced and dry, and I don't know. It was very cringy. I felt like they were really trying to force the jokes out, and it just didn't. I don't know. It didn't fit my style.
That's one of those movies where like the humor is just for women.
Probably.
Kind of like with men, like we love the Three Stooges and women hate the Three Stooges.
Mm-hmm. Or probably
You know,
that's probably what it was. I was like, man, why am I not getting this? Why am I not laughing at this? You know what I
yeah,
mean?
just certain things are just skewed towards certain. Like, I can't stand the Wedding Singer, not the Wedding Singer, Wedding Crashers.
I didn't like Wedding Crashers either. I don't know.
I thought it was so stupid.
I couldn't get down with that one, honestly. But
That
yeah.
one I was like, ugh. All right, so before we start getting into the list, these are the rules that we had talked about before.
Okay.
Instead of going my top 10 and his top 10, we said I'm gonna pick five with honorable mentions. He's gonna pick five. KJ's gonna pick five with honorable mentions. So that way, completed, we have our top 10 list.
Yeah.
The problem with a lot of rom-coms is we've seen a lot and we've forgotten a lot.
Yeah.
We've
Very
also
true.
we've also decided all romantic comedies will be from 1980 forward.
Yes.
Um, we decided not to go into older films that people A wouldn't have seen it unless you're into film. B are like, oh my god, I don't want to hear this. Because here's a good example: Marilyn Monroe. Everyone knows who Marilyn Monroe is, but very few people have seen a Marilyn Monroe movie.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
that's so we decided not to do that.
Mm,
The other thing is we have to talk about it from what makes a guy want to watch this one or enjoy this one as opposed to something else.
sure. And also its
You know,
overall like quality as a rom com in general, basically. So
yeah.
and
And there's like if we went to a top 10 list, we would have gone into more um independent films and things like that, but we kind of made this a little more mainstream.
yeah,
So
basically.
so to give our audience to go, oh yeah, I've seen that one. Oh, I forgot about that one. Hey, that might be on Netflix, you know?
Yeah. Also, side note, I know we mentioned earlier this week or past few days that Ricky was going to join us today. Ricky was not able to join us, unfortunately, but he'll
Yes.
hopefully be
Ricky
as well.
actually, when we invited him, he said yes, he would go.
Okay.
He would do the podcast with us. But then his wife reminded him that they're going away for that weekend. And he was like, oh yeah. So he's
Sure,
away with
sure.
the family at an Airbnb this weekend.
Oh, nice. All right, I'm going to start off with mine first. Um,
Okay.
so one of my favorite rom coms is going to be There Is Something About Mary. Friggin' let me give you some backstory on this. This came out in 1998. A man gets a chance to meet up with his dream girl from high school, even though his date with her back then was a complete disaster. This film starred Cameron Diaz, Matt Damon, Ben Stiller, Lee Evans, Chris Elliott, etc., etc. Great film, great film. Hilarious, freaking hilarious. I think a lot of us men. Wait, Lois, why are you shaking your head? What do you mean no?
I didn't really find that movie all that funny.
Seriously, you did it?
Seriously.
Wow, I'm actually kind of surprised. I thought you would have liked that film.
There were parts of it that were funny, but a lot of it was just kind of gross out
No
Ben Stiller humor.
I mean, yeah,
Like like the hair mousse. Like
yeah. I
the hair
mean,
gel, excuse me.
I think it was like I think this would be a good guy rom com for the simple fact that it kind of speaks to a lot of us guys. I mean, it reminds a lot of us how we were back in the day in high school or in school in general when we were the geeks or like the nerds or whatever you want to call it. We weren't cool enough to get the pretty chick, and
No, that wasn't me.
of course it wasn't you, Los. Like
No, that wasn't because here's the thing. I went to 5 high schools, right?
okay, wow, okay,
So because I went to 5 high schools, I had to learn how to just talk to everybody. So, you know,
yeah,
and if you know everybody in high school, they're like, "Oh my god, Los knows everybody."
yeah.
And then, or even the guys would be like, "Yo, man, I need a date for this," or blah blah blah. So then I would get on the phone and call all these girls, and you know,
Oh, so
that's
you
how it
were
was.
so you were everybody's hitch, basically, kind of,
Not
maybe.
only was I everybody's hitch, a lot of the girls I would invite their friends
Hmm.
because everything was always cool. Like I never called guys who were too much of an asshole, too much of this or that.
Yeah.
You know, it was everyone who had a sense of humor.
Okay. I feel you.
But
I,
Cameron Diaz was super cute in this movie.
Cameron Diaz was amazingly cute in this film for sure. I mean, and that's one thing that I feel makes a rom com, or just a comedy in general, is its memorable moments. There was so many memorable moments that are pretty much memes to this day, basically. Um, but yeah, I just think that story it's very traditional. It's something that a lot of people can relate to. The simple fact of the guy trying to get the girl, basically. So I thought it was hilarious. I know a lot of Ben Stiller comedy is something that a lot of people can't relate to. Sometimes it can be a little cringy depending on the film, but I think, in my opinion, this was like the perfect Ben Stiller comedy. In my opinion.
No, the perfect Ben Stiller comedy is Dodgeball.
I didn't like Dodgeball.
I thought that shit was hysterical.
I yeah,
If you
I
could dodge
didn't.
a wrench, you could dodge a ball.
I could not get down with Dodgeball. I mean, I think that for me, that part of Ben Stiller's comedy was a little cringy. Sometimes he could be a little too much. He could be a little overboard
Yeah,
at
yeah,
times.
I agree.
And I felt like his comedy and Something About Mary was perfect. And that hair scene in the restaurant with her hair standing up to this day is one of my favorite moments in comedy, honestly.
Like he had too many gross out movies, like the fake old lady naked, this guy fixing his teeth looking like a horse, just
Yeah.
like um, you know,
That was
Like things like that,
hilarious.
I was just kind of like, the fish hook thing,
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean,
people have had bad lucks on dates, but nobody's that unlucky. Okay,
hey, speak for yourself, man. I've had some pretty bad dates. We should have a podcast about that. Bad dates,
bro.
episode 50. I'm down with that.
Oh no, 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 no. I have the best of all the bad dates.
Oh, buddy, we gotta save that for that podcast episode.
Yeah, yeah. But
uh,
but listen, the key to a successful date is planning. Okay, you
okay.
have to have an A, B, C, and D plan. Okay, because if something gets ruined in A, you can turn around immediately, go to B, immediately go to C, immediately go to D. The one thing women hate is indecisiveness.
Oh yeah, for sure. You gotta be
And
on
I like
point.
how a lot of romantic comedy movies show that element, you
Yeah,
know?
I feel you.
Like the bad dates women have, because always in a rom-com, like women have a bad date in between. And
Yeah,
it's always a guy who's indecisive or not confident or not
yeah,
willing to make jokes even at their own expense.
yeah. True, true indeed. All right, so my first one was "There's Something About Mary." Losh, you're up. What is your first one for the night?
Hitch
Oh
by
wow.
Will Smith. And I'm not a big Will Smith fan, but this is one of the movies where Will Smith came across very human. Where the reason,
That scared me for a second.
yeah, no, 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 no. The reason why um, the reason why he is the way he is because he was such a geek and
Mm-hmm.
he didn't know how to love somebody. He was too much and too intense.
Yeah.
So I loved it, and I loved the fact that it was all about value. Like find a woman of value, find someone you can care for. It wasn't about hooking up. It was about a true relationship. And when he meets his ex,
Mm-hmm.
the one that dumped him in college, that he was gaga over,
Yeah.
and he realized she's just a gold digger, he was like, I've grown past this and I've grown past you. And not only that, like his advice is genuine,
Yeah.
it's presented in a very funny way, but his advice is pretty genuine.
True. I'm actually surprised that you like this one for the simple fact that, like you said, you don't really like a lot of Will Smith movies because of his character. But
No, the thing about Will Smith is he can act. Like he's a really good actor,
yeah,
but he chooses these roles where he's such an asshole. Where he's just like, yeah, I'm Will Smith and I got a big dick. Take a look at me. And I'm like, bro, that's not who you are in real life. Why would you take these roles?
yeah. I mean,
You know,
I do. I mean, maybe a lot of times, maybe he takes those roles because he figures people want to see him that way. I'm guessing. They want to see a confident, swagged out Will Smith who's over the top confident. Maybe that's what he figures that people want to see. But I would
no,
have to agree with you.
people want to see the funny man because people fell in love with the Fresh Prince.
Yeah.
Understand?
Yeah.
So they want to see the funny guy, and Hitch was perfect because he was confident and he was funny. He was silly and he ruined dates. He was self-deprecating, but he carried on. Like all these things made Hitch such a good movie. And Eva Longoria, is that her name? Hold up, I gotta actually look at my notes here.
Eva Mendes.
Eva Mendes.
Yeah.
Eva Mendes. Bro, have you seen her in interviews?
No, I haven't.
When I tell you, a fucking funny woman.
Really?
Like, oh my god. And that's the thing, like she's attractive, she's cute, she's not like nowhere near a top 10. She's like, a number 7 from around the way, but her sense of humor makes her an 11.
Yeah, I mean, personality is everything, man. Like your looks can be top notch, it could be middle of the road, it could be whatever, but personality is what makes you what you are. I mean, in my opinion, honestly.
Yes.
But I would definitely have to agree with you. I think compared to most of Will Smith's films, I mean, some of them he's done it before too, but as far as like comedy and like dating, I feel like this film was where he felt the most human, for sure. He made mistakes, even though he was the one giving everybody advice, even though he was like, like the top dog for dating advice, he made mistakes too,
And he wasn't perfect. And that's what made this movie so good.
Exactly.
Hold on. Hitch came out in 2005, and the way he played off Kevin James was fucking comedy gold.
Yeah.
Absolutely comedy gold.
I do like that pairing between him and Kevin James. I wish I would have. I
Yeah.
wish I could see another like film like that with them two because they mesh perfectly together.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
And that scene in the supermarket with his face swelled up, that was freaking hilarious.
Oh, you know what? I thought it was funny, but I didn't think it was hysterical. And
Yeah,
now some people
yeah,
die of laughter. I think the scenes leading up to it were hysterical when he's like, and he's
yeah.
like, I thought that was great. Uh,
I think it was funny because I wasn't expecting his face to look like that. It just came out of nowhere. I was like, "Holy crap!" Like, what the? It was so
yeah.
random.
And the thing that I love the most is even though he's the love guru, when it
Hmm.
came to Kevin James' character, he didn't need Hitch. He had it on his own.
Yeah, he pretty much just needed like that boost, and I think that's what Hitch was pretty much trying to explain to him is like, you already had this in you. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
just needed somebody to kind of bring it out or show you that you have it or just put a mirror in front of you basically. And like it's something that a lot of us guys can relate to basically, which is why this is also another good rom-com, for us men too. Is that some of us guys who don't have confidence, who are geeks so to speak or whatever you want to call it, a lot of us don't have that confidence to approach a woman because we just don't think that they will consider us. And look at this woman in the film. She was like top notch in her firm. She was, I guess, he was a millionaire,
Yeah.
and he was just a guy pushing papers, basically,
Yeah.
and he got the girl. Once again, another film about getting the girl, you know.
Yeah.
So,
But this one I like about it's about getting the right girl. It isn't just about getting a girl, it's about getting the right girl.
yeah, basically,
And it was done where it wasn't kids being romantic, it was adults, like real adults who have problems getting them. And that's what I
exactly,
loved about it so much.
exactly.
You know. And the other thing is Will Smith's speech at the speed dating. I was like, yo, throw that shit in her face, bro. You got it.
Speaking of speed dating, have you ever done that before?
Yes, I've done it several times.
What have you what are some of the things that was done? Like, did you guys do like the wine tasting thing? Because like that's actually kind of
No,
interesting.
it was at a bar in New York,
Okay.
a bar slash restaurant.
Okay.
So as soon as you walk in, they ask if you're here for the speed dating. So the men would sit on one end of the bar, the women would sit on the other.
Okay.
And there's always an overconfident asshole, a good-looking asshole, who brags about shit. And there's one
Overconfident
poor
asshole.
guy. Yeah, I'm serious. And there's always like 2 or 3 recently divorced guys who have like no confidence. And I literally sit around and I joke with everybody and I joke around with the divorced guys
Mm-hmm.
and I tell them, I said, listen, whatever you do, don't mention the divorce. No matter how bad it is, just go listen. There was a lot of problems, but it's over in the past. And what good does it serve for me to talk about good or bad about her? It's not about her. It's about us communicating.
That's a good point.
And
Good advice
a
for you
lot of them
guys out
took,
there.
yeah. And a lot of them listened to it and some got hooked up and some didn't. And one guy, I remember he was really upset that he didn't get a match
Mm-hmm.
because I ran into him in another speed dating thing. And he was like, no, man, I have no luck and it's nothing, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, bro, because you're trying hard. Don't try hard. Just be yourself. Think of this as your night out. Like,
Exactly.
this is not about hooking up. This is about your night out. And if you happen to hook up, awesome. And if you don't, then you don't. It's no different than any other night you go out.
Yeah, you
And
gotta look at that night as like, just like in Hitch, you gotta look at that night as your mirror. This is your night to prove to yourself that you can do this. You can get out there. You can talk to people. You can
yeah,
interact. And you can, yeah, like I said, yeah, just talk to people. Like, I mean, I think that's the hardest part for a lot of guys that have low confidence is the simple fact of just talking. And this is that step for you to take. If it goes to a second date, if it goes to more, great. But this is the first
and
step.
a lot of guys overdress.
Yeah. Like they come up in there with the
Bro,
suits, the
listen.
20,000 sprays of cologne.
Now, mind you, this was like when I did it, I literally wore a button-down shirt, open jeans, boots, and a t-shirt with something interesting on it.
Okay.
Okay. And the t-shirt that I used to love was the Muppets recreating Abbey Road. All right.
Okay. Interesting.
So if a woman is very much into music, she'll look at it and she goes, what is it about the t-shirt that seems so familiar? And I'd be like, oh, it's the Abbey Road photo, but with the Muppets. And as soon as they're like, oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. And then the whole music conversation happens and things flow. certain women be like, "Oh my god, you're dressed like that," and I'm like, "Oh, we are just wasting these 5 minutes."
Yeah, exactly. Like, next. Let me press the button
Yeah.
for the next one. All right, we're going to jump into my next one. And I got a feeling you're not going to like this one either. If you do, I'll be surprised. The Wedding Singer.
That was gonna be on my list.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, surprised. The Wedding Singer came out in 1998, starring Adam Sandler, Drew Barrymore. Oh, love that woman. Christine Taylor, Alan Covert, Matthew Glave, etc., etc. Growing up, I was a really big fan of Adam Sandler. I loved a lot of his films, pretty much most of his films. Honestly,
Yeah, when he was good.
yeah. When he like this is Adam Sandler in his heyday. Like this is when he was top
Yeah.
notch. Now he's I don't know. He's older now, I guess.
He's just not funny.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't do a lot of comedy anymore. Like he does kind of, but he's doing more serious stuff, or at least like bringing more serious stuff into his portfolio.
No, his contract with Netflix is for funny movies, and unfortunately, they're just not funny.
Yeah, he has a film on there now. It's like a Halloween film. It looks like a mix of what he did with Waterboy. Like he's doing like almost that same voice, and it's weird. I don't know. It's kind of freaking weird.
But the Transylvania cartoon movies, he did an excellent job.
Who did he play in Transylvania? Really?
Yeah. The Dracula.
That's Adam Sandler? Really?
Yeah, it's Adam Sandler.
I didn't know that. Holy shit. I need to watch that.
Yeah, you know the one where his daughter meets the human and they fall in love and all that. Yeah, the cartoon. Yeah, Adam Sandler.
Wow, I did not realize that. I need to go back and check that out again then.
Yeah.
But yeah, Wedding Singer is pretty much about a wedding. I guess I'll read the IMDb synopsis
Description.
Here. Robbie, a singer, and Julia, a waitress, are both engaged, but to the wrong people. Fortune intervenes to help them discover each other. Another perfect story that a lot of us guys can relate to. You're with somebody, and you know somebody else who, like a friend who's with somebody else, but you want to be together, but yet you're still with somebody, and that person's with somebody too. Perfect story that a lot of us know or even been through ourselves. I like Adam Sandler in this one because he is almost like a tortured soul in a way, he's in a relationship that he wasn't happy with basically, and he fell in love with someone almost accidentally, and he didn't mean to, but it just kind of happened. Drew Barrymore was awesome in this film. She was cute as always, she plays a great role, but she was getting engaged to an asshole basically. The humor in this film I thought was great. Typical Adam Sandler humor basically. What's one of your favorite films from this film, Los? I mean, one of your
my favorite
scenes.
parts of this film?
Yeah, one of your favorite scenes.
See, for me, it was all the supporting cast. Steve Buscemi, that Boy George imitator, all those things were great for me.
Okay.
His best friend with the mustache, like they went overboard in all the 80s symbols.
I love the 80s aesthetic in this film. It's freaking amazing. I loved it.
I was a little kid in the 80s, and let me tell you something, the 80s were not that fun. Shoulder pads on everything. I mean, really, we're not linebackers.
I know. What was with the shoulder pads back in the day? Jeez, I never understood that.
All fashion is led by architecture. And in the late 70s, the big trend was these very straight lines. And so then that carried over into fashion. And so then it was about making things look very straight and square.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Like the Michael Jackson jacket, the Beat It jacket, everyone loves. If you look at it, it's a bunch of squares, a bunch of straight lines, a bunch of angles. It's all about straight lines and angles. That's why.
But yeah, one thing I like about this film, The Wedding Singer, is the chemistry between what is his name? Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore is awesome. They've done a lot of films together, and I feel like they have the perfect chemistry on film, like the perfect chemistry on film. And
because they're friends in real life. That's why.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, true.
So like, I mean, think about your best female friend who's just a friend. And if you had to act opposite her as your girlfriend, you already have the chemistry. So the rest is just details of the film.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. My favorite thing about Drew Barrymore is that she has a lisp.
Yes. Like it's very subtle and very cute at the same time.
No, it's not that subtle. Like, my favorite thing she's ever said is in Charlie's Angels, and that's kicking your ass.
Yes.
Oh my god, I fucking die of laughter every time I
I-
hear it.
it's so strong in that one. It's so strong in that
Yeah.
scene right there. It's freaking hilarious, man. I
But the
freaking
thing is, like, what I love about Drew Barrymore is she's cute. I mean, she's pretty, but she's not drop dead gorgeous. You know what I'm trying to say? Like,
it
she
goes.
seems like somebody you could approach and you could be like, "Hey, how you doing?"
Yeah,
You know. So
exactly.
that's why another reason why I think like rom coms with Drew Barrymore work so well.
Hell yeah. And like you said, it goes back to her personality. Like she just
Yeah,
has that awesome, bubbly personality.
yes.
I just wonder like how does she get with that douchebag in the film though? Like, what did you see in him? Good girls like bad guys, I guess, man. That's what it
No,
is.
man. No, man. Just sometimes um you look for your opposite. Or remember, women look at men the way men look at a house. Okay? Men look at a
Okay.
house and okay, let me explain it. Men look at it when you buy a house, you're like, oh shit, I could update the bathroom, maybe I could do a little paint here, I gotta fix the floor here. And women look at men the same way. We gotta change the way he dresses, we gotta get him a haircut. I don't like this cologne, he's gotta change that. Well, he's not hanging out with that friend anymore because we gotta, understand?
Yeah.
So a lot of women will get with a guy if they feel like they can change or improve, Sometimes women will improve you, and other times women will fuck you up.
Tear you down, take your soul, and make you feel like a shameless person.
No,
Molesting.
actually, some women will teach you how to hate yourself,
Wow.
and that is very sad. You
That's
know,
deep. That's
and make
deep,
you
Chad.
and
Oh
make you
man.
doubt who you are, and that's just wrong. That's just very wrong. And I'm not saying some men don't do it to women. I'm just saying that
In
but
relationships
women,
in general, yeah.
yeah, but women have a support structure. You know what I'm trying to say? Women can go to other women. He's such an asshole. You can't believe him. Blah 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 blah. And like, oh, women like it's okay, honey, and blah blah. Let me tell you about this motherfucker. Blah, blah. And
And then some of us guys just like, man, this sucks. I'm gonna go get a beer. Like we
no, not
just
even. Not even. It's like, yo, Fern got dumped. Oh shit. Yo, I got $80. What bar we going to? Done.
exactly.
Drink.
Actually, there's this scene from Friends where Rachel and Ross have their first kiss. And then Rachel goes in the room with Monica. Oh my God, I had my first kiss with Ross. Oh, let's get the wine. Let's get the ice cream. Oh, I don't want to miss a detail. And then in the room with Ross, he's like, yeah, me and Rachel kiss. And then like the rest of his friends are like, cool. And that's it. Like, that's just
That's
like,
it.
that's our discussion, It's like,
Film number 4 is a movie that a lot of people don't remember.
okay.
A movie from 1987 called Roxanne. It has Steve Martin, Daryl Hannah in it. Roxanne is unabashedly romantic comedy that reminds one of Steve Martin's funniest films. The modernization of Edmond Rostan's Cyrano de Bergerac cast Steve Martin, C.D. Bales, and a fearless, quick-witted fire chief as a quick-witted fire chief.
Oh, I've seen this film. I don't remember it too well, but I've seen this film like as a kid.
Right,
Like
when he has
I've
the
skimmed
really
through it.
long nose.
Yeah, I've seen it before.
It's based off a book.
Really?
Yeah. And what I liked about it, it's about how certain men put up roadblocks
Mm-hmm.
in front of them that don't exist. Certain men will constantly doubt themselves. I'm not good enough, tall enough, small enough, smart enough, this, that, strong enough to get this woman or that woman,
Yeah.
Sometimes it's true, but most of the time it's not. Women are far more forgiving than men realize.
I mean, I feel like a lot of men and women probably do that because of the simple fact of previous experiences. Basically, a lot of people are afraid of rejection. They're afraid of how people may look at them. They're very self-conscious, basically, and a lot of people do that because of their own protections, so to speak, basically.
Yeah.
And that can hold you back in many ways, not even just in relationships. It can hold you back in getting a job. It can hold you back in getting that promotion you've always wanted or whatever, but definitely when it comes to relationships, a lot of people put up that roadblock because of fear of rejection most of the time,
Bro, I knew this one girl, okay, who was friends with a model that we used to shoot in the early days of the studio.
Okay.
Yo, bro, this chick was like, she a big girl.
Mm-hmm.
And I could not stand her because I felt like she was such an asshole. But she would fucking bad guys right and left. Like you could not believe. Like
Really.
it was to the point where all the hot girls were like, "How come they don't like me?" Because that's how many guys she was bagging.
And it was all because of her personality. I'm guessing.
Her personality worked for the right type of man, and that was the man she was going for.
Okay.
Um, so it's not always, about the looks. A lot of times you can just charm the panties or boxers off somebody.
Yeah. I mean, just like you said before on the last recently, you said you like sometimes you might have one amazing, beautiful man or woman, and sometimes they can be with somebody who's might be a little less attractive to you or somebody else, basically. But a lot of that has to do with because of how that person's personality might have been. There might
Yeah,
be something amazing about that guy or girl that you probably like, man, how did you get that woman?
yeah.
It doesn't take much sometimes. Sometimes, especially in regards to a guy to a woman, in regards to a guy to a woman, sometimes all it takes is just to make that woman smile. That's it. Some women, if you can make them smile,
Or
you got
or
their
cook
attention.
for them the right way.
Or cook for them. That's it, guys. Like I feel like this is JHouze Radio's dating and men advice. I mean, dating and women advice, honestly.
Yeah.
you
Well,
know
like, see, the thing I liked about Roxanne is when finally Steve Martin and Daryl Hannah get together at the end of this movie,
hmm
it was one of those aha moments. It was kind of like, why aren't we together? And they wound up together.
All right, my number three, which it might seem surprising to a lot of men out there. The Devil Wears Prada came out in 2006. I will read the synopsis. A smart but sensible new graduate lands a job as an assistant to Miranda Presley, the demanding editor in chief of a high fashion magazine. This film stars Meryl Streep, Anne Hathaway, Emily Blunt, Stanley Tucci, Simon Baker, Adrian Grenner, Tracy Toms, etc., etc. This film is usually something that I wouldn't think that I would be into, but I feel like I've gotten into this film a lot because of like at that time that this film came out, I was a model. Like I was modeling at that time, and I was really heavy into fashion and things like that. And when I found out that this film was about fashion, this comedy film, basically, it kind of drew my attention. And I'm a big fan of Anne Hathaway. I freaking love that woman. This film is the comedy, the sense of humor can seem a little dark, especially coming from Meryl Streep herself. She's a very just like hard ass boss basically in this film. I feel like this film is probably more of a love story than a comedy, but it does have some comedy aspects basically. Anne Hathaway, once she works at this new job, a job that she's always wanted, it changes her. She was kind
Wait,
of
is this
the
at the Twin Towers? No, it
um
can't be. It's 2006.
yeah, I don't know, but what's the Twin Towers? Anne Hathaway was unconfident, unsure of herself. Her fashion was horrible, in compared to some of the people that worked at this job. And she felt like she had to change herself for her job. So because she loved it so much, she wanted to be accepted to the point where it cost her relationship, basically. Spoiler alert. Um, and then she realized that at the end, obviously, that it's like being in love sometimes is more important than I don't want to say more important than your job, but you don't want to ruin something that you have, especially when you're in a great relationship with somebody, just because of your job, because money isn't going to always be there. And that's kind of what she learned at the end of this. Like I said, the comedy was a little dark, but I just think the story in general was great. The simple fact of her realizing like, hey, like I need to appreciate the small things in life, because she risked her relationship, she risked her friendships, everything that she loved before she got this job, she risked it for her job, basically. And I just think overall it was just a great story. I mean, it does have some comedy moments here and there, but yeah, Devil Wears Prada.
Ah,
It's super girly movie, but I kind of like it. All right, so we're gonna jump into yours, Los. What's your next one?
uh, uh, Groundhog Day.
Groundhog Day.
Groundhog Day, 1993. Bill Murray, Andy McDowell. Um, because again, it's about a guy who was an asshole, um, who had to repeat the same day over and over and over and over and over and over again
Yeah.
till he finally decided to use his time, useful, in a useful way. Learn how
Mhm.
to play piano, learn how to play guitar, learned all these different like ice sculpting, all these different skills to become a better person. And there's a funny montage where he goes on dates with Andy McDowell,
Okay.
and he's constantly going on dates with her, and they all end in a slap in the face. And once he finally realized, I'm just gonna be me, the new me, the one who's improved and is not so shallow, um, it all came together for him, And it's about even though we're men and we're adults, we might not necessarily have grown up, and sometimes we need time to grow up. So that's why I loved it.
Now, I haven't seen this film in a while. So, is there a reason why he's having this Groundhog Day? Why his day keeps repeating itself? Like,
Never explained.
really?
Never explained.
Wow. Interesting.
And,
Wow.
and that's what makes it best. That it's never explained. It just happens to be the thing that makes the whole story happen. I mean, there's dark moments on it where like there's the whole montage of him trying to kill himself.
Wow.
Yeah,
I completely forgot that this was a rom-com. Like I never like anytime I think about this film, I don't think about it as a rom-com. I knew it was a comedy, but I forgot about the whole romantic aspect of it, honestly.
Yeah.
So, what would you say was the number one lesson for men after watching this film in regards to like love or dating, basically, or love or dating?
2 words: grow up.
Grow up, guys, grow up, men.
Grow up, bro. You cannot always get your way. You have to compromise in a relationship. Don't be scared to learn a new skill because you need to learn it. Don't be embarrassed because you happen to not know something. Fucking learn it.
Yeah,
Your girl asks you, "Yo, fix the sink," and you don't know it. Fucking YouTube it, learn it, and do it.
yeah,
She's asking you because she depends on you and she relies on you. So, if you can't do it yourself and you pay somebody to do it, that's fine. Because
yeah.
in her eyes, it got done. And it just adds another level of her dependence on you. Like, I can depend on you for this.
I think that's one thing that a lot of us men mess up on is the simple fact of we're men. We want to be a man. Like we want to be able to be that person that can do anything that our woman asks us to do. Like if they say, "Hey, the tire needs to be the tire needs to be changed," they expect us to know, and we want them to know that we know, basically. And if we don't, we feel like that takes brownie points off our manhood, basically. And I
Yeah.
feel like that's why a lot of men kind of get in their own way in regards to relationships. Like I said, sometimes we just need to grow up and just kind of get over ourselves. We need to know when to let that fight go. Sometimes you can't win all the fights, you can't win all the arguments, you can't win all the conversations, and we need to just get over it sometimes. Just let it go.
That's right.
And at the end of the day, some women don't mind you being a little, what's the word I'm looking for? Uh like a little,
Clumsy, klutzy.
yeah, just not, some women don't mind you not being perfect. Some women don't mind you not knowing everything. Sometimes a woman wants to be able to show you a thing or two. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Very true.
uh like I said, this is dating advice from JHouze Radio. All right, I'm gonna jump into my next one. I love this film. Literally, probably one of my favorite rom-coms of all time. Save the Last Dance. Hold on, give me 1 second. I was
Which
not.
one is that one?
Let me put up for you. Hold on. I gotta get some names here. I'm slacking, chat. I didn't. I wasn't ready. I'm too busy talking. Save the Last Dance came out in 2001. A white Midwestern girl moves to Chicago, where her new boyfriend is a black teen from the South Side with a rough semi-criminal past.
Oh yeah, that's actually a good flick.
It's a really good. I love this film. I've seen this film a million times.
That's actually a good flick.
Julia Stiles, Sean Patrick Thomas. Which, side note, people growing up, even to this day, sometimes say that I look like Sean Patrick Thomas. I don't know where they see it, but apparently people have told me that before.
I can. You have you guys have certain features that are similar, but I don't think you look like him. If you
Yeah,
understand what I'm trying to say.
yeah. I've
Oh,
gotten
but
that a lot.
Julia Stiles. I used to have that was like my fangirl crush for a while, bro.
Yes, Julia Stiles. Oh, I she was like one of those actresses from like the '90s that was just like amazing. I freaking love her, man.
She did this mini series where she plays a prostitute, but nothing in it is sexual. Like it's very weird.
Okay,
It's called Blue, BLU, and
okay.
she did such an amazing job. You know, so she's a really good actress. And the one movie she did with oh, what's his name? That he's in all the Kevin Smith movies. The guy with the beard, Spanky,
I don't know. I can't think of it off top of my head right now.
where he was going to get married, and then one of the dancers was his wife's cousin.
Why can't I think of that? Let me just type in Julia Stiles on IMDb. It'll be a lot easier. Do you remember what year this kind of came out around or
No,
no? All right. While I'm looking that up, hold on. All right. While I'm looking that up, let me while this trailer's going.
it's the eyebrows.
The eyebrows, really?
It's the eyebrows and the top of the cheeks and the smile. That's what's very similar.
Probably.
Yeah,
This film came
and you guys
out.
both style your hair very similar too.
Yeah, I can see it. Like to a certain extent, yeah, I can kind of see it.
And
Um,
again, it's it's kind of like you guys have certain features that are similar but not exact.
yeah,
You know, like you could play his brother or his cousin in the
yeah,
movie. You know,
exactly,
because you guys
exactly.
have just that hint of looking enough alike. You know.
Yeah. This film was very inspirational for me growing up. I was always known as like I kind of saw myself and saw in Sean Patrick Thomas's character in a way. I've been in some interracial, relationships and things like that a lot of people looked at me a little weird, and I can relate to his character in this film a lot. And this was a great story, just like I said, a white suburban girl living in the hood basically fall in love, with the guy with the background, and people around him, like, people, his sister basically, and his classmates and his friend not accepting him, not understanding, like, why are you dating that white girl? Basically. So it was just such a great story. I love the fact that they intertwined dance with it. At that time, I was like really, really into dance as well. And it was just a great film. It has some comedy moments. It might not be your traditional rom com and things like that, but it does have a lot of lighthearted moments and things like that. And it tells a real story,
Yeah, it
about
does.
a guy growing up in the hood, falling in love unexpectedly, trying to get out of the hood, trying to make a better life for himself, but being held back by his friends who just couldn't get out of that lifestyle,
Yeah,
basically. Um,
yeah.
and
The one line I remember most in that movie is when Julia Stiles' character is talking to her friends from where she used to be from, and
yeah,
the
yeah,
and she's talking about him, and the girl's like, "Oh my God, where'd you find a white guy in that school?" And she was like, yeah, well, I gotta go."
yeah,
You know, that is the one thing I remember most, and I don't know why that one particular moment
hmm
sticks out in my head.
yeah,
The thing about this movie that I like the most is the relationship, them getting to the relationship, like the journey felt so natural.
yes, it did.
Nothing felt forced or pushed or, and between them there wasn't a black or white thing. I mean, there was those moments of hesitation,
hmm
but that's like a normal first time I get into an interracial relationship thing.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
wasn't it wasn't it wasn't like a highlighted thing like in Jungle Fever where like she's Italian, he's black, and blah blah blah.
Yeah,
So that's why like, it was felt very natural.
yeah, yeah. Definitely one of my favorite films ever for sure. And the
I
music
and
in the
this
film
is
was great.
and I forgot about this movie.
Yeah, I forgot about this movie for a second until we started working on film ideas for this episode. And I was like, wow, I completely forgot that I watched that film, and I love that film. It's great. It's awesome.
Okay, for my number 2, I'm gonna have to go with The Ugly Truth.
The Ugly Truth.
The Ugly
I don't know if I
Truth.
saw that.
Yes, you probably did. Hold on, let me I'm just gonna read the synopsis. Abby Richard Kathleen Heigl is a Loveloom TV producer who, despite a long and arduous search for the perfect mate, is hopelessly single. The battle of the sexes heats up when her employers team her up with Mike Chataway, Gerard Butler, an opinionated TV celebrity who puts Abby through the ringer. This was Gerard Butler's first romantic comedy that I could remember. And
We
it is
talked about this. Yeah.
fucking hysterical. Oh
Really?
my god, I could
That
not fucking stop laughing at this
that
movie.
hysterical? He was that hysterical?
I thought he was fucking he was so funny. Like his first scene when some woman calls
Mhm.
his and starts going and he shuts her down in like 2 sentences and hangs up on her and he's like, and that's the ugly truth. And I was like fucking loving it.
Oh
I
wow.
was loving it. And
When
when
did
he gives her advice on dating, um, it was good. I mean, it obviously went overboard for the movie, but it was good advice.
yeah. When did this come out?
You know,
2009. Yeah, I need to watch this.
such a good movie.
I don't think I actually sat down to watch this. Mickey Boro in chat says, "Hey, what's up, buddy? How you doing, man? How's your weekend been?"
Hey, Beaky.
Um, yeah, I have to watch this one again. I don't remember watching this. I don't. I might have skimmed past it, but I don't think I've actually sat down to watch it.
Oh no, bro, you've got to watch it. It is so good.
Yeah, I might have to check
And
this one out.
and Gerard Butler like trying to make an American accent and he slips into the Scottish every once in a while is
Really?
great. Oh yeah, it's great.
But all right. So what is the dating lesson from this film for you?
Um, listen, someone's gonna love you for you. Okay, whether you're an asshole or not, someone's gonna love you for you. You
Yeah,
just have to find the right person, and sometimes you find them by accident, and sometimes they've been in front of you the whole time.
very true. Very
You
true.
know,
Like once you find somebody that will accept you for you, that will accept you for wearing whatever you wear or chewing too loud or snoring in your sleep or whatever. Like once you find that person, it is the most amazing feeling on the face of this planet because you can just be who the
absolutely,
hell you are. You know what I mean? Like
absolutely.
it's an awesome feeling because when you're with someone and you feel like, man, like I can't do this because she doesn't like it. I mean, granted, some things you do kind of like, try to sacrifice, for a
Yeah,
relationship. Some things, sometimes that happens. But other than that, yeah, when you find that person where you can be yourself, it's freaking awesome, guys. It's amazing.
absolutely.
All right, my next one that I am jumping to, my number two is no, this is actually my number one actually. What Women Want. I think this is
Really?
well, it's not my number one film. It's just like my number one on the list. But yeah, what?
Okay.
Yeah. What Women Want? I think this is the perfect like rom com for us men. Honestly, came out in 2000. In after an accident, a chauvinistic executive gains the ability to hear what women are really thinking. I think that's something that every man would like to have. Sometimes,
Hell no. Hell no.
sometimes, not all the time. Um,
No, bro. Listen, women think at the speed of light. Women are on like, well, we're on step one, they're on step 2000. I don't
very true.
need to hear step 1 to 2000 because I will go insane listening to all that.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you.
No way. I mean, they have a lot of funny moments in there when he's listening to women's thoughts, like the the door woman, and she barks at him and all that other shit.
Yeah.
That shit's hysterical. And when he goes to sleep with Marissa Tomei, and she's like, he reminds me of my sister.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I
Oh
mean,
my god, I fucking lost it.
like having that power to hear what women think can obviously be a double-edged sword. A lot of
Yeah.
men probably want to know what women think when they're having sex because they want to know, all right, am I doing this right? Or like they want it to be perfect for them. So
Listen, if you have to ask, you're doing it wrong.
exactly. Never ask. Listen, men out there never ask. Don't say, is it good? Do you
Was it good for
like it?
you?
Was
No.
it never ask that? That's almost like asking a woman what her age is that you don't know. You just don't do it. Just you can tell, and if you can't tell, then something's wrong.
Yeah,
Basically.
exactly.
But yeah, it's kind of a double edged sword to have, to be able to hear what anybody is thinking, let alone women, because sometimes you might hear something you might not really want to hear, basically, and it can crush your soul,
Might not
honestly,
understand.
or you might not understand exactly, exactly. I just thought it was a good comedy film. Mel Gibson does pretty okay in comedy. He has his one liners here and there, which are pretty good. The part where he's
I,
shaving his legs, I thought that was hilarious.
funny,
Freaking
funny.
hilarious. One of my favorite Mel Gibson films. Mel Gibson during that time was like at the top of his class. Good film. Dark Legion in chat says Scott Pilgrim versus the World is a good one. I like to answer your question. Oh, okay, interesting.
I have a problem with Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
You know what? I should have considered that for rom com because
I didn't
it's.
consider it because he should have ended up with Knives, not with fucking
I
what's her face.
know. Oh man, I was so pissed off when he did not end up with Knives Child. I just don't understand why not. I mean, granted, the other girl was, she was awesome too, but man, why not Knives? Why not
Knives was
Knives?
the perfect girl for him, and he fucked it up.
Well, since we're talking about Scott Pilgrim, I mean,
But yes, Beaky, I love that movie, but I can't stand the ending.
what was your favorite scene from Scott Pilgrim? Since we're
I
already
don't have
there,
a I don't have a favorite scene
you don't have a
because I
favorite
love
scene.
all of it. I love all of it, from the time jumps to the way they integrated all the graphics to the get an extra life to the get a clue to all the sound waves for the special effects for the sound waves. I mean, to me, that movie is a lot like Speed Racer, where all the graphics are integrated into the story perfectly and flawlessly. So for me, there's not. I don't have a favorite part. I could tell you what part I hate the most, other than the ending.
Which is what?
When Scott goes up to what was her name? Fiona. I want to say Fiona.
The girl that he was chasing the entire time? Well, the one that he
Yeah,
was trying to fall in love with? I think it was Fiona.
yeah. When he goes after her, and she's like, oh no, I'm with number one now. I didn't like the way it was written.
I love the scene in the party where he was trying to talk to his friends and say, "Hey, do you know where this girl is?" And the drawing was like a scribbly mess, and
Yeah,
and, and everybody knew what he was talking about. I'm like that's like the humor in this film is just, to this day, it still holds up. It's such a hilarious freaking film, you
yeah.
know, where he's like, "Hey Scott, you just need to accept the three-letter word. That three-letter. I mean, not the three-letter word, but you gotta accept the L word." He was like, "Lesbian? No, the other one. Lesbians? No, love, man." Like
And the
that
gay
film was
roommate was
awesome.
fucking hysterical.
Yes. Oh my god, he was hilarious. Pajama
Eh,
Mama, PJ, what's up, girl? How you doing?
Hey, Pajama Mama.
Oh my god, and Andreas and I watched this movie on like our fourth date. Really? Isn't that sweet?
It's a
uh,
great movie.
then they came out with the side-scrolling game. Yeah, that they had a Scott Pilgrim game that actually came
They
out.
did.
Yeah, it was like a side scrolling beat 'em up kind of game, like an old school aesthetic, basically. Um, it came out a few years ago, then it disappeared, but now I think it's coming back again, basically. So it was actually pretty good. It kind of reminded me of Streets of Rage. I don't know if you ever played that in the
Yeah,
arcades. Yeah, it was kind of like a Streets of Rage game, basically. It was pretty
I'll
cool.
look for it.
But I like the fact that it integrated like gaming with it, and like you said, they just had these different aesthetics in the game. I mean, in the film, from gaming and stuff like that. It was freaking awesome, man. And me and Los were actually talking about it before the podcast that we want a sequel for this film. Like a lot of people
Yes.
do. Like online, there's so many people on like social media who are like raving for a part two. So the word is they do have a sequel in mind. I'm just not sure if it's an animated version or a live action. We still don't know yet. But
Listen, and again, for me, the reason why I love it is because all the graphics and everything are integrated into the story. It's not like they added after the fact. It was shot with those graphics and things in mind, so it just seemed flawless.
yeah,
You know, And the part with what's his name, Captain America.
Oh yeah, I forgot he was in that movie.
Oh my god, that was fucking great.
Yeah, it was freaking awesome. The comedy in that film was just top notch. It was a hilarious freaking film.
Okay, mine, the most ultimate, in my personal opinion, rom-com that a man can watch and enjoy because there's a lot of truths in it is When Harry Met Sally.
That's actually a really good one. That's a really good
When
one.
Harry Met Sally is the most amazing rom-com because, again, take it from an adult. They meet each other fresh out of college. He says certain truths about your 20s, and as the movie goes and goes and goes and goes, like they really see um that they're really meant for each other. It just took a long time for them to realize it. And I love the fact that in the movie, every time there's it's New Year's Eve, they never get a chance to celebrate the ball drop
Why
because
not?
something always happens.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never. I don't think like I've always heard about this film, but I've never sat down to watch it. Never
Oh
watched
my
it.
God, you have no fucking clue what you're missing.
Really? Is that good?
Dude, you are missing an awesome movie. Bro, from the first conversation that they have together, right? They both get out of college and they're both heading back east. So she puts an ad up, someone to share the ride with her and share the driving.
Yeah.
They pay half for gas.
Okay.
And that they go on this trip, and from that first moment of their conversation, their banter back and forth, you get it. Like you like, as a guy, you listen to him and you put yourself in a 20-year-old's mind, 20-something-year-old's mind,
Yeah.
and you're like, I can see that. you know and then they meet up later, and then they're, I think, in their early 30s.
Yeah.
And you see that, and then once they finally get together, it's awesome. And then you see how he broke his rule. How he applied one of his rules after they slept together, and how it ruined things, and he finally had to learn to grow up and um you know and just admit that this is the right person for you and just go for it.
What was his rule though? What was his rule that he had?
Never wake up in the girl's house. Never
Never
stay
wake up
overnight.
in the girls.
Wait for her to go to sleep, get dressed, and go.
Wow. Honestly, I think that's like sometimes that could be a good thing when you fall in love with somebody and you have
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about falling asleep with somebody
Oh
and
my
leaving. That's a
no,
good
no, no,
rule.
no. I'm not an asshole. I don't try to be an asshole. Like when you fall in love with
You're
somebody,
telling me you've never done that?
what, like woke up with a woman? I mean, I like slept with
No,
a
no,
woman?
like you hook up with a chick and like maybe you two fall asleep and you don't wake up and be like,
No.
oh shit, I gotta go.
I've never done that. I'm not like Los. I'm not an asshole. Why are you looking at me like that? Why do you chat? Why does he think I'm an asshole? Los thinks I'm an asshole, guys. Like, come on.
I've done that. Okay.
You're an asshole. That's why.
I'm not an asshole. I left a post-it note. I had a great time.
He
Love
said,
to hang out with you more. Call me.
he said, I left a post-it note. I'm being considerate. I left a post-it note.
Exactly.
Beaky says, KJ is sus. All right, so those are our top 5 films each that we like from rom-coms that men enjoy. I'm going to jump into my honorable mention because there's just too many great rom-coms out there, guys. So I had to get an honorable mention.
And there's a lot of terrible ones too.
Yeah, for sure. This one's a
Yo,
classic.
Dark, I'm sorry, but Big is creepy. If you think about it, she slept with an 8-year-old.
Hey, Big. Okay, yeah. If you think about it that way, it is kind of freaking creepy, and it's very like we can get some laws and involved in that conversation. But
Yeah.
Big, I forgot about that one. That's actually a good rom com. I actually like that film. It was a really good film. Honestly, it's the perfect film if you're a kid to think, man, like what would it be like to be grown, to be an adult basically. I don't know why I didn't add that. Like that's actually a really good film for sure.
again, that's one of the movies get lost in the shuffle.
Yeah, I know, man. It's too many great films out there. All right, my honorable mention, in my opinion, is a classic. Tom Cruise film, Jerry Maguire, 1996. The synopsis is when a sports agent has a moral empathy and is fired for expressing it, he decides to put his new philosophy to the test as an independent agent with the only athlete who stays with him and his former colleague. Um, have you seen this film?
Yeah,
Los?
yeah.
What did you
Show
think of
me
it?
the money.
That is literally one of the like most iconic memes of all time. Show me the money. Great freaking
You
film, man.
completely. Who has not seen that movie?
It's a freaking awesome film, man. I freaking love it. I think Tom Cruise was excellent in his film. He's Tom Cruise just being Tom Cruise, basically. He was great
Yeah,
in it. We also had Cuba Gooding Jr., Renee Zellweger in it, Kelly Princeton, Jeremy
Renee
O'Connell.
Zellweger. Yeah,
Uh, top notch. Oh, and Regina King. I forgot she was in this too.
yeah.
Great film. This was also when Cuba Gooding Jr. was like at his like top best. Like honestly, he's an awesome actor. He did great in this film. Um, yeah, I mean, just not really too much to say about it. It's just an awesome film, man. I freaking love it.
I agree with you. And by the way, Dark Bedazzled is one of my top favorite movies.
But
Damn the
Dazzled,
devil. Damn the devil to hell. I love Bedazzled.
I think I definitely did see this film, but Dazzled. I feel like I've seen it. I just don't
Bro,
remember watching like the entire thing.
bro, and when he plays the most sensitive guy, to me he looks like Justin Timberlake. I don't know why.
If he gained a little weight, yeah, probably. This film
Yeah, Anna
has
Kendrick is in this.
Brandon Fraser, Elizabeth Hurley, Frances O'Connor, Miriam Shore, Orlando Jones. Hopeless dweeb Elliot Richards is granted 7 wishes by the devil to snare Allison, the girl of his dreams, in exchange for his soul. Really?
Yes.
That sounds like a dark plot.
It's not. It really isn't.
Oh,
Elizabeth Hurley plays a great devil because she's so charming
wow.
and
Yeah.
not overly sexual, which I loved. She was just sexy enough, you
Okay.
know?
So
Because,
oh, go ahead, go ahead.
well, because a lot of times they play the devil, they like, they over sexualize the devil,
Yeah,
you
like
know?
almost
But in this
always.
one, yeah, this one, she was just sexy enough,
Yeah.
enough to turn your head, but not like to have you drool, enough to make you laugh and enough to make you feel like, oh, she's charming. I would fall for her,
Yeah.
just enough. It was really good. Her performance was really good.
Oh my god, Brandon Fraser with long hair and that mustache looks so hilarious.
He played at that point in the movie. He's a Colombian drug lord.
A Colombian drug lord?
Yeah,
Oh my
with
god.
terrible Spanish, but with enough of a Colombian accent to make you go, all right.
Oh man, I need to watch this. I need to just based off that alone. That just sounds
Yeah.
freaking hilarious.
Remember the microphone check you told me to do? And I was like, hola, mucho gusto. ¿Dónde está la biblioteca? It took it from this movie.
Oh really?
Yeah.
So what is your dating lesson that you got from Bedazzled?
Stop wishing for shit. Fucking make something
I
happen.
said stop wishing for shit.
Yeah.
It comes back to rejection. Nobody wants to be rejected. I don't care if you
Yes, but listen, bro. My father said it to me. He goes, to hear one yes, you got to hear 100 no's. So
Yeah.
fucking be a man. Start racking up that 100 so you can get to the one yes. And once you learn enough about rejection, you don't care.
Preach. That's low shot.
Bro,
He's preaching
I
the
know
gospel.
women, okay, and I'm not saying all women are like this, but I know women who, after they reject a man and a man's not devastated and he moves on to someone else and he has good time with someone else,
Yeah.
they get jealous. Why are you jealous? You rejected this man. What the fuck do you care? Just fucking move on. Bro, if you don't, listen to me, if you don't learn about rejection, you never learn your lesson on how to approach somebody,
Yeah. True.
Otherwise, we'd also be in our kindergarten rule of just punch somebody and that's how you tell them they like you.
or sneak your little love letter in their lunchbox or something like that. I'm not saying that I did that, but
I would never do that. No.
I'm not gonna lie. I do remember this one day when I was a kid in like elementary school. I remember like it was yesterday, and like I sat up all night writing this note. I don't remember what I said in it. Writing this note, and I put it in my little overalls, and I went on the playground. Went on the
Oh my
playground. Don't laugh at me, Los. Don't laugh
But
at
I'm
me.
laughing. You know why I'm laughing? Not because I think it's like funny, but I'm just picturing a little mini version of you going, I wrote a love letter. And for some odd reason, I think it's the most fucking adorable image.
In my overalls at that. Oh,
Exactly. I'm picturing blue overalls and like a yellow or purple t-shirt. Because I think your mom put you in bright colors when you were younger.
Yes. Them bright
Right?
ass colors with like freaking jeans on. Like, come on, mom.
Yeah.
I'm not going to shirt with this yellow freaking t-shirt on. But yeah, I do remember doing that. I stayed up all night writing a little love letter to a girl, and like I tried to find some kind of slick way of giving it to her on the playground without like sticking around too long. So it was like one of those situations where you walk up to her, say here, and then you walk away. Like that's pretty much what it was. Freaking hilarious.
So what happened?
I don't remember. Probably got rejected. She probably tore it up, you know, put it in the garbage, whatever. And I went home and cried like a little baby in my yellow t-shirt and my overalls. Lois, didn't you have two what you call it? Two runner-ups, I think.
Yes. Okay. High Fidelity.
Oh, good one. Good one. Can you give us a synopsis on that one? If you can. Por favor. Or if you want, I can find it real quick for you.
Wait, hold up. In a biting romantic comedy, Roy Gordon is the owner of a semi-failing record store in Chicago, where he sells vintage records, and he's trying to figure out why his relationships failed. And it all started. The opening scene in the movie is where his current girlfriend dumps him. So then he visits all his ex-girlfriends to go, so what was wrong with me? To kind of learn how to be a better man. And then through that experience, he does become a better man, and he gets back with the girlfriend left him in the beginning of the film.
Interesting.
Good fucking movie. Better fucking TV series.
The TV series was awesome.
Oh,
I watched it twice. That's how
yo,
good it was.
You and me both.
I watched it twice. Chat, if you have not seen Fidelity on Hulu, High Fidelity on Hulu, go watch it. Great film, just about being being in love, about being in a relationship, about learning about yourself through that process. It's just a great show. But yeah, back to the film.
Yeah. And this was in High Fidelity. This was Jack Black's first major role and the first time he sung on film or screen. Yes.
Interesting.
Good movie. John Cusack. You can't go wrong with John Cusack.
Yeah.
Good.
He's charming. He's charming for sure.
Yeah. Good movie.
I didn't.
Yeah,
see...
I wouldn't take this version of High Fidelity. You know, you put me on the TV show version. Zoe Kravitz, yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Side note: I can't wait to see Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman in the new Batman film. Can't wait. Jack Black is awesome.
She's a new Catwoman.
Yeah, she's a new Catwoman.
Oh, I didn't know that.
In the Batman film coming out, yeah, for sure. PJ in chat
that's gonna be interesting.
PJ in chat says, "Boys didn't find me attractive." Don't worry about them, PJ. They're not worth your time.
Don't worry about them, girl.
They're not worth your time.
Listen, you married now. You found the right one. You're happy. That's all that matters. Screw those other people. Exactly. They missed out an opportunity of a lifetime to be with somebody who's awesome like you. I'm just saying.
Exactly. Preach, Los. Los has been preaching all night. I might have to call you Preacher Los. Something like that. Preacher Los. Break it down for him.
Though through I walk through the valley of house, I shall fear no groove.
Oh my God.
That's an actual track for house music.
Oh really?
I've actually used it in a bunch of remixes and live mixes and stuff. Yeah.
Overall, like out of all the rom-coms that we went over today, basically, I think the one thing that I'm coming out with as far as being in love and being in relationships is that, like Los even said a bunch of times that this episode, be yourself. You know, yeah. A lot of times it's hard for us to be ourselves. A lot of times we catch ourselves trying to be like somebody in a movie, and we do it. We're humans. It's gonna happen. Like sometimes it will happen, but don't do it to the point where you lose who you are and you forget who you are just to please somebody else. Because at the end of the day, you're trying to be something just for somebody else, and you're not being yourself for you, basically, and then you end up losing yourself. You know what I mean? So
Oh, and the only other little bit of dating advice that I can give you is on a first date, don't eat finger food, man. Like don't add like buffalo wings
don't eat
because
finger
there's
food.
nothing, bro. There's nothing sexy about you having all this sauce in your fingers. You're going, yeah. So tell me about your college. That's just
I never thought about that. I never thought
yeah,
about that. Don't eat finger food. So then, like, what if you're eating like a steak or something? Like, is that even still appropriate? Because then you're stuffing your face regardlessly. I mean, like,
bro.
does it
If
matter?
you're taking a hunk of steak and you're putting it on a fork, going, yeah, there's something wrong with you, bro. Like no,
Oh
but
man.
like Dark Legion, peace is acceptable because if you both agree to pizza, she's also eating something that's as sloppy. I understand. But like if you're going out to dinner and she gets, for the sake of argument, you went out somewhere and then you afterwards you go have a burger. And you're going, I'm gonna have some buffalo wings, and she's eating a burger, and you're like, no. That just kind of ruins it.
Yeah.
I'm just
So so
the
so
first day you got to have a level of decorum for her to go, "Hey, maybe. Once you're comfortable, be like, baby, you turn the lights off. Goddamn, where's that toothpick?
oh my
You know,
god.
get to that comfort level. Don't get too comfortable right away.
This has been episode 32 of JHouze Radio. Lois, you want to lead the people with the business before we get out of here?
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you can, rate us 5 stars. The more stars you rate us, the more chance we get to be seen by people. And you never know, you might actually make a friend in chat. And not only that, the more people that visit us, the better chance you get to approach different subjects. Maybe we'll get a chance to actually get different guests on, and it's a lot of fun. So, guys, like, comment, subscribe, and thank you very much for being here. We appreciate it from the bottom, top, and middle of our hearts. And thank you so much for being active in chat. It really, really means the world to us.
Side notes, heads up, we are going to be doing a JHouze Radio t-shirt giveaway pretty soon. We're going on one of our next episodes. I'm not sure if it's going to be the next one. It's going to be one of the next 2 episodes. Anybody in chat during that day will automatically qualify to receive a JHouze Radio t-shirt, and it's going to be a limited supply, so we're only making like a few of them. So yeah. We'll definitely keep you guys posted in social media and in Discord on what episode that's going to be. So make sure you guys keep an eye out for that. Other than that, guys, we're going to get out of here. Thank you guys for everything. I will catch you guys later. Peace out.
Later.